Hey there, everyone. This is Dr. Yam, your Keep It Simple coach for the Small Biz Society Facebook group, as well as those who are aspiring to be entrepreneurs in jumpstartmydreambiz.com. Today, I am focusing on spying as our words of wisdom for Wisdom Wednesday. That's right, today is Wisdom Wednesday, and we are going to be talking about what are the three things that you could do to help you get a little jump on the competition and why it's really easy to do as well. So that's our tip for today as far as how you can increase your leverage with your business is the reasons why it's important to spy in your business because it's not a bad thing. And hey, anything that you can do to get a little up on the doesn't hurt a soul. So why would you want to do so is the real question. If you haven't already done so, by the way, I want to make sure that you have, if you're not already a member of the Small Biz Society Facebook group, that you please join us over at www.smallbizsociety.info. There, it is a private Facebook group. Simply answer 3 simple questions, and you're in like fun. And there you will see videos for all my other trainings and other opportunities that can help you to leverage, learn, and grow your new small business as a entrepreneur in the making. Now let's get started. So the reason why this is an important piece is typically it's missed. A lot of times when we're thinking about starting a business, we're always thinking about ourselves. And while hopefully you do recognize you're not the first one out the gate in your industry providing this particular level of service, or maybe even in a product, you're going, if it is in the sense of a product, you are in a, how can I call it? Maybe a component, right? So you're not just standing all out there by yourself. You're not basically the first one under the sun. The whole point of you going into business, however, is that you are providing a solution to a particular problem. And it's the way in which you're doing that that's going to make it important to figure out how are you doing it differently than your competition. Oops. Ooh, there you go. Oh, sorry. My screen just, oh, sorry. My screen just left me. So there are 3 reasons why you should spy on the competition. Here's item number 1. It's going to help you prepare. So for those of you who have already launched your business, it's not too late. First of all, you need to know who is your competition if you haven't already done so, and taking a really hard look at who are the people either in your local circle that are doing similar work as you. What are they doing? Because at the end of the day, you're trying to get your piece of the pie. And in order for you to get a piece of the pie, well, you need to know which pie you want to eat out of. And also, who else is trying to eat out that same pie? So you want to make sure that this is a way that helps you prepare for how is it that you're going to leverage the skills, the expertise, and the products that you have to offer to your potential customer, right? So how is that done in preparing for that? So let me bring up my little note here. So while spying isn't impossible for you to know what you're up against, as a result, it can't hurt, right? So you just want to be able to figure out what it is that they're doing so that you can better prepare about how is it that you're going to position your products and your services. So for instance, if they are if you're in a food industry and they're doing a menu selection, then you want to know, well, what is it that's like maybe their popular dishes, right? If you're working in the same locality, then either you want to do one of 2 things. You either want to make similar dishes that you know are very popular because people like it, and then people will like to try it someplace else to see whether or not mine is better, and if so, why. Or you're going to have some other type of a spin on it, right? So it just helps you to prepare how is it that you're going to position your solution to the marketplace. People are more inclined to know that there is somebody else out there because they like to have options. There is a brand loyalty involved, but it's incumbent upon you to ensure that they will be loyal just to you as it is to someone else. So part of the spying process is, how am I able to convince people who are already doing this, going to another provider just doing similar work to you and convincing them that, hey, come over here and try me out. So this is also an opportunity for you to kind of really help you in preparing what is on the minds of the customers and why they're going over where they are in your competition, and how is it that you're going to be able to provide them with a level of service or a product that is also available to them in a different way. So you want to be able to do that. It can, if for those of you who haven't launched your business yet, then this really helps you in being able to truly prepare for what it is you want to position yourself out there in the marketplace and being able to put a spin on it. Not to slight your competition, I do want to be clear. Spying on the competition is not about getting back at them or to speak ill of them, right? We all got to eat. And so remember, what goes around comes around. So be mindful of that. But you certainly want to be aware of what it is that is taking place in your community based on online as well as in your local, depending on the type of situation that you're in. If you're a retailer or an online e-commerce person, you still need to know what they're doing. So it's also part of that. So there's also one, preparing and knowing what you want to be able to do. Another key part of that is it's going to save you time. And the reason why it's going to save you time is, why spinning your wheels trying to figure out and looking more internally at what things are happening versus looking outside? And if you already know what people are doing and they're being successful at it, then why wouldn't you want to do something just as similar? That's the whole point. The only difference is you can do something similar, but not exact. You want to be able to put your spin on it so that people will be just inclined to decide from you, because again, not every customer, everybody's not going to be your customer. And I say this time and time again. Just because you can doesn't mean you ought to. Just because you're there doesn't mean everybody's going to come to you. And so it's going to save you the time and the effort in knowing that here are some popular trend things that people are doing. You may, again, be unique in how you position it and how you produce a product or deliver a service, because again, people are connecting with you as much as they're going to connect with the service. So it's going to save you some time as well. And that's certainly something that you want to be able to do, because you can spend a lot of time focusing inwardly on all of your efforts, right, to create a perfect product or service or an ad campaign for that matter. And there's certainly an approach, right, that you want to take, that you're eager, that you want to avoid, right? Being overly influenced by your competition. However, it is equally as important that you take the time not to make the same mistakes as your competition. So that's another reason why time saving is an issue for you. So spying on your competition is also going to let you kind of piggyback, right, on all the other hard work that your competition has done, and you can kind of cut your development time in half, right? So you kind of want to figure out, what are they doing? How can you learn from that? And again, not copy paste, but you certainly want to be able to recognize what are the things that's working, that are attracting to people, and how is it that you can take advantage of those things that people have gone ahead of you, and how you can make that your own. And that's going to save you a lot of time. And then time is money, right? That's what I say. And then the other cue that's important when you're thinking about spying on your competition is where's my other one? It's also pretty easy. So what I mean by easy is that you can certainly go out to the internet, but let me just talk to my local purveyors as first. If you're in the local area, then it certainly makes sense for you to physically go there, watch what they're doing, see who's coming in and out of their door, look at the patterns that are taking place. And it's those types of observations that you really want to be keen on so that you can figure out, like, look at their signage, look how they're advertising, just even in the physical presence, right? How often are people coming in and out of their doors? Do they open on time? Do they close on time? Things like that are all easy things that you can do to figure out how the spying or things that are working with the competition. You can also easy things just as going on people's websites and figuring out what they're doing, how their ads are, of their placements are being conducted. If they're blogging, maybe you can look at the different comments and the topics that they're talking about or the types of services that they're providing. It's very easy for you to take a look at the competition that's out there and then try to figure out, okay, now that I know what I know, how is it that I'm going to position myself in a way that's going to make me profitable and that I can get a piece of the pie? And you also want to look at any trend data, marketing data that might be out there. That's another way for you to do time saving and now also being easy to do because it's simply a matter of doing some research. And that doesn't take a lot of time to gather that bit of information. And if you don't want to do it, you could certainly give it to someone else to do it for you. But don't be discouraged from spying on your competition by assuming that it's a daunting task and there's a lot of resources that's going to make it really intensive. It doesn't have to be. Um, just looking at their websites, looking at their social media posts, existing ad campaigns that might be out there, then you'll be able to kind of basically see what it is that they're doing, what's working, what's not working, and what would you do to make it better that's going to make a different approach with your take on it. So if spying does feel a little daunting to you, there's some automation tools that are out there. For instance, did you know that you can write a trigger inside of your Google search engine so that if and when your competition name appears in anything, you will get a notification? Did you know that? So it's simple things like that that are going to be able to help you to gather in the data that you might be concerned about with your competition. If they're changing prices or something, you might be able to figure that out because again, if there's a change on their webpage or anything along those lines, you'll be able to find those things out. And then I want to say is that mentions, I think it's mentions, will let you set up notifications if your competition name is mentioned anywhere on the web. So go to mention.com. I think that's, yeah, mention.com. I'm going to put it here inside of the notes as well. I'm going to put it here in the chat. Mention.com. Now, here. So you can use mention.com, and this is the tool. It's going to give you a notification. Anything that's happening with your competition that might resonate or be hosted or anything that's happening on the internet, you're going to get a notification. That in and of itself is a pretty cool deal, and it will lessen the burden that you may feel when it comes to doing the research, because at the end of the day, it's all about how you're going to be able to top your competition or at least stay in equilibrium with your competition. So check out mention.com. I'm also going to put it here in the comments. There we go. And this is a tool that you can use for that. So anyway, that's my little bit of wisdom for you today, is the 3 simple ways that you can spy on your competition and why it's a good thing. And again, keep it simple. This is Dr. Yam, your Keep It Simple coach for the Small Biz Society and Jumpstart Your Small Biz for those of you who are aspiring to launch your business. And if you have any questions, visit keepitsimple.com to get in contact with me, and I'll be more than happy to help you along. Hey, let's get busy. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.